I know there's multiple endings. Okay, so this is what I know about the game. I know there's multiple endings. There's different paths you can take. That's all I really know. I don't know what the story, is all about, what happens, but I do know. Yeah, that's what I would know.
It's my turn.
No, it's on Game Pass. It's on Game Pass, Nord.
Rotten oak pristine. Each heart contains the seeds of life. Drink at this river.
So that's all I know. Let's play. Yeah, the Microsoft thing.
Oh, come on, you bastard. I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse.
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. Me guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reid.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr.
There's
Cox.
one. That's fucking
Let me assist
patient
you
player's
to a
RP
better
name is
place.
Clay Cox. Alright, Clay Cox. The blood quality indicates how much you gain. Drink blood of your prey. You first need to memorize and release them out of sight.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Is this like a forced eat? Or okay, blood temptation. Press the embrace Clay Cox or spacebar to release them. Embracing Clay will get massive XP. Just be aware there'll be consequences. Learning about. For now.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
He seems fine now. Wasn't he hurt like a minute ago?
Whoa, I feel giddy.
Alright, so here's a question. I'm fine with you guys answering. Can I go and feed on him later? Can I can find Clay later, right? And feed on him and get more XP? Yes?
It is
Okay.
wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go. But no famished hunter can run for long.
In fact, the healthier you target, the better. Right. Makes sense. That makes sense.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide
Oh yeah, so if
you
you
a
get them,
quiet
you get their
office.
value up, you
You'll
get
find
more
it
out of
on
it
the
if you feed
second
on them.
floor with your name on the door.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Nurse Crane, isn't it?
kind of smart not to feed right
Yes,
away.
Dorothy Crane.
Build them up and
Welcome
then
to
feed and get
Pembroke
all the
Hospital, Dr. Reid. Your office is
get all the value out of it.
I would like to ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
We get the most out of them.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Got it.
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Oh, yeah.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, Nurse Crane. Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reid has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University.
Yeah, Game Pass is
in New
actually
York.
crazy
Dr.
good.
Tippett, yes, I remember.
Played a lot of
I was
games.
assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future.
You play some Just
Look
Dance?
at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a
I
better
hate Windows 10
environment.
so much.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reid. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff? in the
PS Now is pretty cool, yeah.
Some are
But I
really
feel like they don't
good,
have as
others
much.
are
The thing
not
that
so good.
Xbox
But
Game
during
Pass
this
has over
troubled
PS
period,
Now is you
there
can
is
play it on
no
PC,
time for
right?
slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
And all the exclusives for Xbox One, or Xbox in general, are on PC day one as well too, like
Tell
Halo,
me more about
Gears of
cherished
War.
people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated
It's not as
nurse
good.
I've ever worked with. A clever
They
and
do have
cheerful
one, but it's not as good.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree
don't have to have an
with
Xbox,
Dr.
no.
Swansea's reserve, but I must
There's a
admit
PC
he
game
does
beta
all he
pass that
can
you
to
don't need
keep
an
this
Xbox
facility
for it.
running during this crisis.
Like
Ah,
literally,
yes,
it's meant for
burden
PC.
of command.
And anything Xbox One
fed up
or
with
anything
this
Xbox
concept while
exclusive
serving
is
as a
automatically on
medical
PC.
officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office down again.
I already asked my personal questions. No, those are hints required.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Like I have an Xbox One, but I don't even use it. You just need a Microsoft account or an
Good evening,
Xbox Live
nurse.
account.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
This
I
was a
see.
year ago? Yeah, it's
Well,
definitely different now,
I'm a
Nord.
little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know.
Yeah, not even gonna
blood
look at me directly,
transfusions
right?
are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is
Our eyes
convinced
are
it
looking
is the
over here.
future.
It's the those are little things
How are
though.
things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun.
My Xbox is not even worth anything now, dude. I have an OG Xbox and it doesn't read
An
discs anymore.
invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Just see a little thing for you.
Do you
Yeah,
think
I'm
this
only gonna be.
hospital
I
can
play
survive?
anything Xbox on my PC and then
all
anything
volunteers.
PlayStation exclusive.
And we're trying to hold fast.
I'll use my PS4 for.
How do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses
See,
have
I was sick and
already
tired of people
resigned.
just spamming it. Keenan.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet.
What's
Perhaps
going on,
you
man?
could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Won't stop you. Hold on a sec. I'll tab out for a second. Let's do. Move over. Let's move my camera down, just because it's kind of in the way of the gameplay stuff. Go with this. I love how you're just exactly saying it. Yeah, I'm gonna move it right down to the bottom here. That's better, right?
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
Pops flexing that.
I may
Points.
disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Eating chocolate.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Does everyone spam it? The thing is, I can flex the hardest, but I have unlimited points.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
They count as much as I want them to count, Nord. We have her blood quality. Holy fuck, dude. Dude, she could fucking level me right up, brother. Tippett. Hi, who are you?
Good evening.
Give her the suck, dude.
I'm
Full
Dr.
suck.
Jonathan Reid. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reid. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind.
Holy
Dr.
shit,
Reid.
let's play.
Part
Damn.
of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reid. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
Oh, separately.
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm fine, Doc. Physically, at least. But I would give everything to be in a better place right now.
Yeah, Zenith just bought a brand new PC himself. Like, just built a brand new one not too long ago.
Weapons through the hospital?
And why not?
How much did you spend on that, Zenith?
By patients, you know, and by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
Oh, this would be so much more useful overall.
So what do you do exactly in this?
Project Scarlet's gonna be a
Apart from
Xbox Scarlet's gonna be a
smuggling
fucking.
I've been an ambulance driver since...
It's gonna be cool, but it's not gonna be
I
really.
guess. I'll bring
Viable.
sick people here night
5.5K.
and day. It's a dirty job,
Years of saving
but I
when
get
you're
it
away
done.
from. Right.
Most of the time.
You know.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor.
It's a
I'd
beautiful
rather not
PC
bring
too.
your dead body back.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to
Yeah,
enter
I
some
saw your
streets or
specs, and I've seen your
buildings. Even
PC.
the
I think I saw it in your
locals
Discord. Pass them out. Personal questions. We need hints.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reid. A reliable
I have a Corsair
company
keyboard I got for
everybody
Christmas.
needs these days.
K70. I'm gonna be looking in moving my let's buy this to sell. I'm gonna be looking in do a new mouse soon and new mouse pad. Just because my fucking Razer Mamba wireless, I've had to get RMA twice
Consider the offer from that
because of these side grips peeling. That shit sucks.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Thing is, I don't want a ducky or a 10-less or whatever, like the numpad list. I can't do that. Not with RP and stuff.
Please spare me, Doc.
RP, I kind of need everything. Oh my god.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reid. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Okay, so when I feed on people, can I turn them into vampires as well too, or they just die?
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
You're gonna decline to answer that question. Fair enough. Okay,
Who is
don't tell me
treating
then.
Is someone in particular?
Glorious. I need a glorious.
Nobody since the
Pad as
old
well,
and
too.
tired doctor spoke to me.
I think I might look into one when I get my tax
Forgotten
return next
about.
week. Maybe I'll just buy it.
Won't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
This guy wants to be a vampire.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
I'm fine. Just do something for this pain, will you? That's all I'm asking.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reid, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite.
You don't see
A
what?
little delirious,
This?
perhaps.
You
But
have
who
Ultimate
wouldn't
Game
be
Pass, right, for
after
PC?
enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor.
Or there's the Game Pass beta?
Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
It's on there.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his
No, it
friends
should be
suffer.
for everybody. Nord's
William
in
Bishop
the
was a
US,
conflicted
and I'm
soul
Canada.
searching for light.
It should be available to everybody.
Do you know Tom Watts? The bartender from the Turtle?
Make sure you have
I met
Xbox
him before I found
beta
him in the
on
cabin
your
factory.
PC.
Tom,
Nord.
yes, of course.
You
Always the
have it in
helping hand,
English?
good
Yeah,
old
so
Tom.
it's on there. You just
Without
gotta
men
find
like
it.
him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Oh, that motherfucker's a gang leader.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Right, Palin? What's going on, brother? That motherfucker.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night
We just need him to say cunt and he's just 100% Gable.
And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm
No,
just
I have an amazing...
willing to preach the good word.
I'm like a fucking idiot.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor.
What's going on, Palin? How you doing, man?
No magical token, if that's what you
How was your stream earlier? You were playing... What were you playing? Tarkov? Or something? Or if Timmy was here.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really. But I recognize Miss Harriet Jones.
About 5 mini heart attacks on EFT. Dude, that shit... I've got it, and I played a little bit. That shit gives your
never
blood
came to see her here at Pembroke.
fucking pumping, dude.
Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
How do you feel, Mr.
So this motherfucker that we didn't kill
I feel exhausted.
runs a gang. So.
Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest, and then I can go back to the people who need me.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Find your office on the second floor. Enter the backyard garden. This motherfucker right here. Milton. Oh, give it a couple. This guy is odd. Can you not look at him anymore, please? He's fatigued.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reid, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reid, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Oh, so she takes 2. I'm only level 1, but she takes 2.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, Describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of pustulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Okay, alright. Good, bitch.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here.
Fucking get it.
Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here...
How about this garden, dude? Shit's
They're
going
here
down
to
in the
help you,
garden.
to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Do not
Thank you,
cough in
mortal,
public.
But do not interfere with them.
Wow, dude,
for
doesn't
you are
this,
no
like,
match
how
for
does this
those that
affect
hunt
real
me.
world right now? Like, you know, maybe just don't.
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
I have no need for your medicine, Dr. Reid. Blood is the only drug I need.
Alright.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Alright, maybe we'll turn her into a vampire. Offer her salvation. Dude over here. Holy shit, there's so many people here.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reid? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we...
Fuck.
need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Bitch, what'd you say to me?
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position.
I'm gonna do nothing right now, and then I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do later on. I gotta read the room.
Could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reid. Of course, you can't
That does pause my game. Okay.
say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Aren't you too old for such jealousy? It really won't do you any good, you know.
Don't be ridiculous, Dr. Reid. A simple glance is enough for me to know you have nothing for me to envy.
Since your tenure in this hospital is
Alright,
long
maybe the
enough,
passive route's not gonna be the way to go. I'm gonna might be a bit of a dick.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reid, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon, and it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative, it is a question of integrity. These men and women have put their faith in us, Dr. Reid.
Alright, guys. Dr. Ackroyd is now on our shit list. Okay?
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as
He's on our shit
scientific
list.
progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. Do you need my assistance?
Not at all. I'm sure that you are used to gaining people's trust with your impressive skills. Well, it will not be the case with me.
Thank you for your
Hey, you bitch. You're on our shit list.
Blundering idiot.
Talk to this lady already? Yes, I have talked to her. Out the window with him.
Good
We'll
evening, sir.
we'll fuck him up.
I'm Dr. Reid. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
I'm all right. Considering the state of this place, I should consider myself lucky, I guess.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reid.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reid? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but
What's
there's a lot of
Ackroyd, you
pride
fucking
there.
bitch?
Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Sweet girl. Reads me like a book. Never could keep anything from her.
Alright, we talked to... We gotta talk to this nerd. Holy fuck, man. Look how many fucking people are in this thing.
I will not let you
Holy
down.
shit. Snap his
Good
neck.
evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please?
I don't know who the fuck that is.
I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any
This
needed
nerd got bit on the
medical
neck.
expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people. It's kind of cool.
What do you think of your reception?
They all got their own little thing.
Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver
So
was
I can't
quite rude for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a
Oh,
dubious
okay, weird.
attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Good old game, 70% off right now. Okay.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't
GOG is
expect
really good.
compensation, Dr. Reid. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Mortimer, you little bitch.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reid. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to
Who needs to be
confess,
cleaned?
Dr. Reid. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty.
My name is Nordwolf, and my last name is 86.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced
Literally
that
my
knowledge
name.
is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza,
It is,
that's
Sander.
going on, you should put your differences aside.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws,
Why is
dude.
it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the
Dude, they're
one
in
to
Canada
discover
now,
the
and I think every
transfusion
weekend we're
process,
gonna be
he
buying
would
like
be the first to
20 of
recommend
them.
its use.
So you believe it's just a question of
That fridge is gonna be stocked with White Claws,
Dr.
dude.
Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to
We're have to
work
buy a
with Dr.
mini fridge
Swansea,
just for White Claws, dude.
but with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Got a lime one right now. Swapping her up a bit.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that
But
this
it's stupidly
epidemic is a
memeable.
test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
It'd be
Questions
kinky.
remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True.
We're all friends here, man.
Summer
We're all
during the
friends
first
here. We all
wave of
share
the
our first
epidemic, I
names.
used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want
Oh,
me to play
you're all
the errand
friends
boy
here,
for
man.
Oh no, Dr. Reid. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Oh, that sucks, man. I mean, it probably saves you money on alcohol, dude. That shit can get expensive.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly.
Shit can get expensive.
I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reid.
I will bite the bullet and I'll
Especially
drink.
since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
It's expensive, Xander.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
It's over for
My
over a
first
little year now.
diagnosis was
Is that just by
compromised
choice?
because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real
just didn't want to drink
origin of
anymore?
his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
I don't drink a lot.
Proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk.
The only time I
because of his
really
own
drank a
negligence.
bit was when we went to TwitchCon, because you know you're with buddies, you want to drink, have conversations, but you might have like one or two. Like when I drink, I might have 2 White Claws tonight, maybe 3, but that's really about it. Like, all right, so we've talked to. Okay, we need to talk to this dude, and then go see our office. Also deal with the shit in the backyard. This is my choice. I know I'm a very bad person with alcohol. Oh, well, good for you, man. Good for you. No, for sure. 100%, man. You don't want that stuff taking you over. That's good to hear. Some people don't realize that, and, you know,
It's locked, all right.
causes them much more anguish. And he's outside. Good shit, man.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
I went to go talk to this son of a bitch, and he went to his room and locked the door. Oh man, that's good. Good on you, Let's Play. Good on you, man. Open the door. I can't open the door. I don't have the key to it.
Unfair situation. I managed to arrange.
I cannot enter.
The same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
I gotta be on the low key as a vampire, dude. I can't just be kicking doors down and shit. Due to the influenza, the hospital's no longer taking any patient. Influenza. Alright, so we have to go to the Midnight in the Garden, or Good of Evil. Enter the backyard garden. Okay, find your office on the 2nd floor. Oh, I haven't talked to this chick yet. She seems like a bitch.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well,
You're welcome.
It's a euphemism that your help will be
Enjoy the kind
appreciated,
birds.
Doctor.
Do you need medical help yourself, nurse?
I'm fine, really. I just need to sleep.
You're using speech to Shrek? I'm drinking a White Claw, and it's the lime one I'm drinking right now.
How
I think
would
I
you
have.
describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
I have like
It's
3
serious.
mangoes left, so I'm gonna like drink
flu
the other
is
ones.
wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
But probably when I go buy them, they come in 6-packs, so it's probably just buy mango flavored.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
So this is the Spanish flu. What's going on?
What if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
For sure that's like coronavirus. Dude, what are the odds that I pick a game that has like the next like a fucking
How long?
an epidemic that's like the
We're lucky enough to
coronavirus.
see that the epidemic is winning.
I picked it
And
because I
no
wanted to
matter
play
how
Vampire and we
qualified you
finished
are,
fucking
don't tell me you'll change that.
GTA yesterday.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Yeah, you just drink your non-alcoholic,
Why does
you know.
Milton dislike
You
doctors?
still have the
don't
taste
know.
of it, you just don't
Just
get the
ask
effect
him.
of it where it
But be warned,
really fucks you up.
Milton is not the chatty type.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Alright, so I think we've talked to everyone we can, except for that son of a bitch decided to peace out. This motherfucker. Is he out of his thing now? Can I go talk to him? He is. You get back, you son of a bitch.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reid.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana.
Anakin's pretty good.
Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana.
pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue. What do you mean? You used to be a doctor. Was your license revoked? No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor. Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses? Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone. An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have respect, for dead flesh. Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself. How did you get this job? After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here. Have we met before? I don't think so, sir. Why? When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead. Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now. Do you work here alone? Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open. Why do you have to watch these bodies? Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens. Why close the hospital's main morgue? It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Okay, we've asked them all that. Oh, your pawnbroker.
A pawnbroker?
Good alert. Sounds good, Nord.
I expect you get all types
Sounds
of
good, brother.
here. Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods. Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread.
Sure, Nord's gonna be ordering getting some food here in a bit anyway.
The hospital. I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people. What kind of goods? With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help. Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh? No. I believe we must.
When he says that, he sounds like
for our time is
Callum Brimbor
and
from
the obstacles are endless.
Shadow of War and like Shadow of Mordor.
I don't think so. Don't mistake me.
But that same
I love life and I'd like to live a long
feel to
life.
it.
But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill. Do you really believe goodwill cannot last? As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir. Quite depressing, wouldn't you say? Yes, but the good news is.
Oh shit, Rinzi, I gotta read this
we all
thing.
die before
Yeah,
we
I
get
feel
to
that.
our
I feel that. Let's play.
humanity, sir.
Back 6 years ago, he used to drink a lot. Good on you, Rinzu. Good on you.
So you're ready to die? No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death
It's
will
good to hear that
inflict
people,
to those I know.
you
You're
know,
a wise man, Mr. Chidana. No, Dr. Reid.
They
I am a
change the way
foolish
stuff
man,
goes, and they feel better
but
in the
I
end.
like to think otherwise. Please show me what you have to
Good
sell.
on you, man.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Lime tree PD. Yeah. Alright, so let's go to our office. Now we've talked to literally everyone down here. That's Dr. Shiwa, Swansea. Fucking got myself a hacksaw, motherfuckers. Tip it. Oh, okay, that's that guy's room. There's our office.
It's locked.
That's locked.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.